Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and this is Windows Server 2025 Complete Master Course from Zero to Expert, and this is video number 26 in this course. And in this video we are basically going to focus on installing file server role on Windows Server 2025 step by step. So this is going to be a complete full step by step demo video where we are going to install and play around uh, Windows file server. So you may ask why in last video we are able to create a share folder and then we are able to share and access from our client machine. Then why we should create create and install a file server role on dedicated server? So basically, yes, you can create a file share, folder share, and you can access from client machine without installing file server. But if you install a file server, it's going to enable you some extra advanced feature, which is by default you are not going to get if you enable just folder without enable a share folder without installing a file server role. So that's what we are going to understand in upcoming videos, where we are going to play around some advanced settings of our Windows file server. So let's go and focus on this video to create a install a file server and then create our proper file structure, share folder structure for our organization, which is going to be followed in most of the enterprise environment. So the very first thing, start with the installation. So installing file server role in a Windows Server 2025 is a very simple. You go on the basically server manager, add role and feature, select role based feature and select then file server role and then install it. So let me go ahead and try to install the same role. So I've cleaned my D drive. Now we are going to create a proper folder structure. So I'll go here and try to okay, so restart pending. I'll restart the server. So click next and role based feature and feature based. This is my server FS01 which I'm using in this video. And then I'll go to file and storage here, and then you can see the file server role is already installed. So this is good. So if this role is not installed, you can simply go and from here. So file server role is mostly automatically installed when you basically deploy Windows Server. So however, if you install further features which is going to be additional, such as data duplication, namespace replication, file server, resource manager, and all these things, then you require a basically additional installation. So now let me go ahead and try to create a proper share folder structure. So this we have discussed. So file and storage service overview. So this require a file and storage require basically file server and then storage management and DFS replication and storage optimization. So we are going to do this throughout this upcoming video. So basically let's try to create a share folder. So I'll go here and create my first share folder, and the structure is going to be like this. So we'll create a department folder, project policy public. So and then we are going to assign the permission. So let me go here and click go to here, and then I'll create my root folder, which is basically shares, and then I'll go on the properties, and this is the root folder. So I'll share this with everyone basically, and full control. So this is good. And now uh, basically security permission also everyone, I'm going to give basically a modify rights. So everyone here, and then let me go from here, everyone edit, and then everyone I'm going to give modify access. And now inside this folder I'll create a folder, let's say departments. So we have a departments basically. uh, Even if you can do it better, let's say you do it this way. So the very first folder you should create, which is let's say put a number also, so you can put 01 underscore public, and then maybe you can create second folder called uh, let's say go ahead and rename this folder as a 02 underscore departments, and then you can create other folder like projects policy. So let me go ahead and create a one folder called, let's say, 03 uh, projects, and then maybe you can create 04 policies. So now let's say on the public folder you want now if I go here under the share, everyone has a share permission to these folders. Now let me go on the public, and I'll go here and public folder I want everyone. Basically I don't want to share this folder directly, so this root folder is shared already. So let me go, you can see here this folder is already shared and have with everyone. So now I'll go here directly in the properties and sharing. I don't need to do anything because this is already shared. If you want to test it, you can basically go on any machine and you can test it. So now I'll go in security permission, and everyone already has a modify, right? So this is good. So I want everyone to basically give modify access. And now for the this policy folder I want only read only access. I don't want anyone to modify this. So I'll go here basically in advanced, I'll disable the inheritance, and then this everyone I'll put it to basically modify, or basically you can do, let me apply this, and then if I go here click edit, I'll go and put only read, so anyone can basically read and execute. And then I'll go and add maybe HR team, since HR team creates policy, so I give HR GG HR basically modify access so they can create a policy and upload there. So now this is good. Now if I go here, you can see here HR has a modify, right? So this is good. Now similar way I'll go in projects. Let's say projects I want to give only maybe go to advanced and then disable inheritance first and then apply, and then everyone I want to remove. I don't want everyone to be part of this, and then I'll give access only to the admin. So I'll give, let's say, IT admins. So IT admin having only rights to modify this folder. And then similar way we can go in departments and we can create departments called, let's say, finance department. So so let's say create first HR department, and then on this HR department I want to give only HR users to have a permission. So first I'll go ahead and disable the inheritance, and then remove this everyone from here. And then you can see here we don't have anyone added. So now I'll go here and add only HR admins, or maybe GG underscore HR, and give them modify rights. And now I'll create a one more folder called IT, and then in the IT I want to give basically IT users only. So the very first thing I'll go ahead and remove the inheritance. I'll remove everyone, and now I'll go here and basically add IT GG IT. So now IT I'll give modify rights, and then let's create our last folder which is for sales. So I'll create a sales, and then go here properties, and then basically add cells. So HR GG cells, I'll give modify. Don't provision full rights, full control until unless any specific requirement. So now I'll go ahead, disable inheritance, and then I'll remove the basically everyone. So now this is how you should basically plan your share folders. So now if I go on my basically this share folder path which is sitting on file server, and I'll try to access public. Since I have access, I should be able to access public. In departments HR, I should be able to open from HR user. Basically now if I try to open IT, and basically it should not allow me. We have a effect because as we discussed in last video, due to effective permission it's allowed me to access. So now let me see the effective permission for this. So basically now let me go here and try to see the effective permission. So effective permission is very critical, and you need to make sure your permission are designed correctly. So if I go and see the IT folder with HR user, what I should be able to see here, you can see here I'm able to list folders. So this is why I am able to go inside this folder. However, I should not be able to go inside basically these folders. And same thing, let me go here and try to access my HR folder, which I should not be able to do from my IT machine. So if I go on file server, shares, and then department HR, you can see I'm able to go because I have a permission. So now this is where this as we discussed in last video, basically effective permissions comes, and if you have a shared permission coming, you can see here everyone having a full control. That's why I'm able to go there. So now if I click here, you should not give basically share permissions also. So share permissions and NTFS permission both combines applies as a effective permission. So now how to solve this? This is where the advanced features are going to come. So if user should does not have access to this folder, he should not be able to basically see this folder. So this is what we are going to fix in next video. So this is pretty much what I wanted to show in this video, how to basically properly your uh, do a folder structure planning for your share folder for the organization. So keep it simple, use cleaner, consistent structure, or organize by department, create a top level folder for each department, and plan for permission, and design folder based on access requirements basically. And common mistake are troubleshooting tips. So using everyone group, so gives access to everyone basically. So and incorrect permissions, user can't access or have too much access basically. User not using groups, so managing permissions becomes very difficult if you manage permissions via users only. Access denied, users basic errors, basically users cannot access share folders, and auditing not enabled. So these are the some basic common mistakes. And tips, basically use a specific group, remove everyone, and use domain groups. Check NTFS and share permission, ensure correct permission not applied at both the location. And use group always, assign permission to the group not users. Verify the path and permission, check share path and permission and credential issue before handing over share folders to end users. And enable auditing, which is turn on auditing to track access and changes. So these are the very important things. And now enterprise file server concept. So centralized, it provides a centralized storage, security and access control, high availability and redundancy. So we are going to see in upcoming video, we are going to set up DFS and DFS replication, where it's going to enable us high availability and redundancy both. Scalability, so scale storage and performance as your business grows. So that is also a basically a critical feature of Windows file server, and then backup and disaster recovery. So regular backup and DR planning protects your data basically. So DR planning, you can set up a DFS replication in your DR site. So you can have a two DFS servers basically. One is sitting in primary location, one is sitting in secondary location, and you can set up the DFS replication which help in backup and disaster recovery. So that's all also we are going to cover. So this is pretty much everything which I wanted to cover in this video, and next video we are going to have an advanced concept, and then we are going to install our first DFS file server, and then we are going to set up DFS replication also. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post me my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.